Hey everyone, this is Ben. Hey, I hope everyone is doing well. Well, I'm here at my property and I'm going to explain a little bit about this whole property thing because I've been on the road for several months now. But let me rewind and go back, start from the beginning. Well, back in December, I sold my house in Tennessee. Some of the reasons for it, because it was too big. It was just myself and Hoku. It was 3,000 square feet, 6 bedroom, 3 bath, upstairs, downstairs. In fact, it was so big, I never went upstairs. So I decided to retire. I mean, you know, I retired from the military, and retired from the police department, but I decided to go ahead and leave my my job as a law enforcement officer for the second time, and go ahead and explore the road. So I put my house up for sale. It sold in like 14 days. And I had 2 weeks to pretty much get everything in and out. But I did hit the road back in December, and Hoku and I decided that we wanted to do this full time. So we hit the road and I loved it. I mean, I've got to see some incredible places, but I realized after a month or two that I needed a base location to come back to, just to reset the truck, clean, restock, refuel, take care of some equipment. And so with the help of some friends, we found this property. And when I first saw it, I was like, I couldn't see the picture of it because it was all overgrown, tons of trees. It had an abandoned house that was vacant for about 40 years. We had an outhouse out there that was dilapidated, tins and wood and all that other stuff. Well, if it looks a little misty, I'm burning some trash over there. But anyway, I saw the property and I'm like, there is no way that I could vision this. But with the help of some friends, they helped me plan the vision of it, and we're slowly making this off-grid cabin and off-grid property pretty good. So I am totally going off the grid with this. I don't even have running water and I don't have electricity. But let's take a walk out here so you guys can see, and I'll explain a little bit more. So many of you know I've been on the road exploring the Pacific Northwest, Wyoming, Idaho, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, you know, just places, Montana, all in that area. And I finally got back and I'm catching up on some projects around the house. But as you can look around here, this is what it looks like now with the trees taken down, and the property goes way back over there. But while I was on the road, I did have some really good friends to come help take care of the property as far as grading and leveling out for me. And I want to thank RG and Chris for doing that. But anyway, the first thing we did is we had to clear this land.
They're going to take all your blocks.
All right, everybody, I am out at my property and something is missing right here. Look, there is no house. These guys have been cranking it all morning and they got the whole house gone and they're burning it. And look at all this space, man. It's pretty amazing. We started the driveway. I still need to put some gravel down on here after this gets all compacted. And then you can see, you know, we pushed everything back, made another driveway here, and it goes all the way back up in there. once the driveway was laid down and compacted, a buddy of mine, Philip, helped me come in and we planted some seeds, grass seed, and we haven't had any rain since then. So we had a little bit of rain, but you can see, I'll show you up there, there's some grass growing up there, but the main portion, it hasn't rained enough for the grass to grow. And before we planted the grass, it rained like every single day for forever, but we'll get there. So we got the grass out here, and then of course, like I said, we do have another access area that comes around here, and then we'll go back up into the woods. Well, while I was in Colorado the first time, I was able to secure a cabin, and this is it right here. This is my 12 by 36 off-grid cabin that I put on the land. And let me see. You guys can see some of the grass growing. But I had it leveled. We've got it on blocks. And then we've got this area kind of compacted here. And the carport will be delivered next week. I've got a pretty good sized carport coming so I can keep Sarge and the camper and the Dodge Ram under there. I'm thinking about selling the Dodge Ram, so if you guys know anybody that's interested in it, I'll give them a good deal. It's only got 59,000 miles. It's got everything from a rooftop tent to a deck system, 3.5-inch lift. We got some tires, we got some lighting, LED light bars, GRMS radios, storage in the back. So it's got a whole bunch of stuff in there, and I'll give you guys a good deal if you're interested. But let's get back to where we left off here. So I had the tiny cabin delivered, and it was placed up here. So this is what I'm basing my off-grid living in right now. Now, when I say living off-grid, you know, some people are like, what does that mean? Well, off-grid meaning you're off the grid from electrical, or you are not connected to any type of grid power or anything like that. So I don't have water and I don't have electricity on this property, but I'm going to show you some of the things that I've got in here to help ease that burden. I want to say burden, ease that kind of living. And living off grid takes a little bit of get used to, but you know, being an overlander and dispersed camping and stuff, it makes it a little bit easier. Some of the things roll over into that, and it makes it a little bit easier, less stressful, I should say. Guy always got to be Semper Gumbie, and you know, there's a little bit give and take. And right now, like I said, we're in the process of, when I say we, you know, a bunch of friends of mine. I've got Mr. Pete helping me, and you know, other folks that are giving me guidance for this type of living and setting things up. Now, when I say off grid, I have no electricity, but there are several things that I've got to power up the cabin. And the first thing I've got is, this is what I usually carry with me when I overland or I'm dispersed camping for emergency purposes. This right here is a Predator 2000 watt generator, and the thing is super quiet, and I use this to charge up my power stations and charge up some big items, electrical items during the day. Now, I don't have solar yet, but the solar or panels are all going to be mounted over there in the yard. But this is one of my main things I use to get to charge up electricity. And of course, I do have internet right there. That is my Starlink Mini, and that has provided me to stay connected with family, friends, and other items while I was on the road. And that Starlink Mini is mounted to an Odin Tuff mount. and that thing swivels 360 degrees and tilts and all that stuff, and you can suction mount it or magnet mount it. But that's how I stay connected to the world if I wanted to. And of course, to shower, right now I have a rinse kit, and I have a flex tail shower system. But we are building a little shower house this weekend with Mr. Pete and Mr. Charles that's coming over. And then of course I did install a bulkhead connector for my generator. Instead of running cables under the door, I can just plug it into the generator, and I can just plug in from the inside of the cabin. My main source of lighting outside is my DEVOS Light Ranger 2000, along with a sea sucker suction vacuum mount. And because this is Bluetooth, I can control it from inside the house. If anything out there, I hear noises, or if someone comes up, I can turn on the light, and I can, go ahead and shift this from yellow to red to white, and then you can adjust the intensity, and you can tone down the lights, or you can go ahead and go with 3 LEDs, 1 LED, or off and stuff. But I'll put all the things that I've got here in the description below. You can pick one of these up from DEVOS Outdoors, and I will provide you guys with some affiliate discount codes to save you guys some money. Also, I do have some solar lights I picked up from Hobo Freight. But these work great. These are also motion censored, activated, and it is solar powered. So during the day, it will charge up, and then it'll project light down here. If somebody moves or comes up, this light will also pick it up. And you can get these for fairly cheap, I think like $12. All right, when you look to the right, this is my kitchen area. And like I said, everything is still have to be built. We're still in the building phase as far as insulation, wall panels, and all that stuff. So part in the early stages. But this right here is my bodega drawer fridge. And I've got of course, my drinks and coffee cream and all that stuff in here. And I was going to put this in Sarge, but decided to just put it in the off-grid cabin. Of course, for cooking, I've also got my GSI Selkirk 460, and I'll cook on that as well. Of course, I've got my jet boil for some coffee and stuff like that. Now, underneath the table, I use an AC 200L. Let's turn that. And this actually powers my fridge. And right now I've got 77%. It is showing 0 for the wattage output because the compressor isn't running. And it only draws power when the compressor's running. And this is, BLUETTI has been one of my sponsors. So they are helping me power up this cabin as well. And then of course I've got that bulkhead connector coming in, and that's where I plug here. Eventually I'm going to have my BLUETTI and my lead time connected to the wiring, fuse box, panel, so I can use the plugs. Okay, if you look up here, I do have electrical Nomex wires already been ran through the cabin to the electrical box. And all I gotta do is I gotta finish up insulating. I am currently working with a company that will, we're talking about foam insulation. So that is also in the works. So let's talk about power management. And, like I said, I've got electrical hooked up in here to the plugs. I just need to finish up the breaker box. But power management, how I am gonna power this place up to get power in here to make this a daily living, livable habitat. But I will be using solar power panels. So I'm going to get some fixed solar power panels. We're going to mount it on some stands out in the front where we get the most amount of sun, and that will be going from the solar power panels to what we call a MPPT solar power controller. From there, that solar power controller will go into some lithium batteries. And right now, I am working with Lifetime. As you know, you saw me at one of the expos that they're one of my sponsors. So the lithium batteries, we're going to go with 48 volt setup here with solar. And then from the lithium batteries, it'll have an inverter where I can plug in stuff there. But I believe in redundancy, so that will be part of the electrical power management system. Now, when the weather turns bad and I can't charge up those batteries with solar, I need a secondary system that, like I said, I believe in redundancy. And I'm going to show you my BLUETTI power management system here for this cabin. So this right here is my BLUETTI power management system. This here on the right is the BLUETTI AC 500. It's a 5,000 watt inverter. And of course, I've got an expansion battery right below, and that is a B300K, which is a 2,764 watt hour battery, expansion battery. Now, if you look at the front of this, we do have several 20 amp plugs. We have 3. We have 2 30 amp plugs, and then we have 1 50 amp. So pretty much, if you wanted to do an RV, you can. And then of course on the top we've got our DC USB-Cs and USB-As. So we got 100s and 18 watts on the front. And then this is what everybody was talking about. Your DC output or your cigarette plug. Most of the diesel heaters are get kicked off from plugging in the 12 volt because it's only 10 amp. But because of the surge power on this, I don't have any problems with my diesel heater kicking off. This right here is my BLUETTI AC 240, and coupled under that we have 2 expansion batteries, which is the B210, and they're both each battery is about 2,150 watt hours. So right here I'm pulling 43 plus 15, 53, about a little less than 6,000 watts of power just on this right here. So 6 plus the 27, so a little less than 9,000 watts of power just right here. And then of course, like I said, my fridge is on a separate power station out there. And then my Starlink Mini is on the new BLUETTI Elite 200. But BLUETTI has been a supporter of the channel since day one, and I told them I was building an off-grid cabin, and they are coming on board as well for that build. So what I plan to do is I plan to insulate this whole cabin with some spray foam, and then I'm going to turn this into a bedroom. We're going to have a wall right here. And then my power management system will be in a type of closet area. This is going away, the air conditioner. I'll probably put in a window unit. This is going back to Mr. Pete. The bathroom, the toilet will be outside. And then here on this wall, which I will actually have a wood burning stove here. And then on this wall will be, I'm going to put the mount the television up here. This is nothing really crazy big, maybe a 42-inch television on this wall. And of course I've got the lofts in the front, the loft in the back. So one will be used as storage and one will be used as a bedroom. Now lighting, everyone's asked, what do you do for lighting? Well, today, like I said, I'm gonna do a review video on some of these telescoping lanterns that has been sent for the cabin, and they're all on tripod bases. So a lot of you ask you, what about lighting for the cabin? And like I said, I'm going to be doing a review on several telescoping lanterns today, but I do have a lot of lights, and my main lighting systems that I always refer or go back to default to is my DEVOS light rangers, and they have been the best lighting system to date. The reason for that is, one, I like this because you can change actually the filters that are built in for different types of environment. I use red because red does not attract bugs, and this thing telescopes to 9 feet in the air, and it keeps the bugs up there, and it is Bluetooth, so I can adjust, change everything from my cell phone. And then of course this right here, the big brother to the Light Ranger 2000. This is the Light Ranger 4000, and this thing puts out 4,000 lumens, and it is wickedly bright. And this is what I use outside of the off-grid cabin at night, or when low lights, or if we're having a little event like the Gumbie gathering. You'll see these DEVOS lights out there. But I do have a discount code for all of you if you're looking to get and purchase the DEVOS Light Rangers, and use the code Semper Light. DEVOS just came out with a 15,000 lumen Light Ranger. It is insane, and it is almost 4 times the power of the 4000. But as you come down here, I've got another light right here, and this is made by Odin, and this is more or less like a work light while I'm cooking or anything like that. And this is also a telescoping light that's also adjustable. There is no Bluetooth in these right here. I wish there was a Bluetooth, but you can adjust the how bright you can. You know, there is a flashing mode on there as well. And then here is the Bouge RV camp light. It's another light here. This is one telescoping light. You can also change and flip over the light bars, so you have light on the bottom. And then this right here is what I run in the camper. This is made by a company called Outtask, and it is a telescoping light as well. Let me you can adjust the intensity. You can change the mood, color, or the softness and brightness on there. But this is mainly in the camper at night when I need to get around and look for stuff. So this has been a really good light for that as well. And I do have one more. It's in the truck. It's the DEVOS tabletop, or the 800 mini. And of course, what I've used on the tiny camper, on the Kong pop-up, I use this one right here on the Seasucker mount because it's green. It's better on your eyes, night vision, as well as the red. But this is one of my favorite light rangers that I use when I go camping. If you look at my videos across the US, you'll see me using this quite a bit. Tonight's off-grid meal is going to be some pork chops and some mashed potatoes with brown gravy. So, what do you think, Hoku? Hoku already ate, but
We got hail coming down. And this thunderstorm is crazy. Woo! Well, so much for woo! Damn. Well, I hope Sarge is okay. I got my solar power panels on the windows, but we got some pretty good sized hail coming down.
So there it is, folks, in a short video of the off-grid living facilities at the Gumbie Homestead. And you know, I couldn't get to where I'm at now without the help of some friends and family that have helped guided me and have helped me put in the work for this. I can never thank them enough. But this lifestyle or this type of living wasn't that difficult for me to adapt because, you know, overlanding and dispersed camping for, you know, months and weeks and days kind of rolled over. So it wasn't that difficult of a transition. Now, if you decide to go from a full-blown grid to an off-grid, there is a learning curve, and my biggest recommendation is you have to just take it as it comes and adapt to it. Don't get stressed out. You know, being stressed is not going to help the situation. Now, a lot of my friends are preppers. My buddy Don or Such 00 in South Carolina, and Southern Prepper 1, he's also in South Carolina. They've been prepping for years, and Southern Prepper 1 has his off-grid as well. But yeah, we'll get there eventually, slowly, and it takes a little bit of work. But so far, Hoku and I have been making it and enjoying it. So until the next video, the next off-grid video. Oh, by the way, what do you guys think about me starting another channel just for the off-grid stuff, off-grid living? Let me know in the comments below. If you watch this channel, would you go over and watch the off-grid stuff, or you would rather just let me keep the off-grid stuff on the Semper Gumbie channel? Anyway, by the time this video comes out, we'll be heading out to Overland of America in Jay, Oklahoma, where I'll be in the Creators Corral along with 20 somewhat other content creators. So if you're coming to the event, come by, say hello, look for the Semper Gumbie flag, the Semper Gumbie camper and Sarge. I'll be there with Hoku. Come by, get a decal, bring a chair, have a seat, let's talk. I'll be able to answer anything or any questions you may have. So until the next video, as I sip my coffee, nothing like a good cup of coffee. This is Ben from Semper Gumbie out.